I do want to begin by expressing my gratitude to East Tennessee State University, the Women's Gender and Sexuality Steering Committee, and everyone who supported this incredible nomination. Mickey for spearheading this and being able to share this platform with you, Car. Um, I know for the past 24 years, this recognition has celebrated women across our campus whose strength, courage, and commitment shine throughout the university and the broader community. I know I stand on the shoulders of women who have led, served, and sacrificed, trailblazers who have paved the way for moments like this one. To be named among such remarkable women this evening is both humbling and very surreal. um, when I think about what truly has shaped me and who I am, one phrase comes to mind, and it's always a servant's heart. If you've ever gotten a personal email from me, the bottom has always said, if service is beneath you, then leadership is beyond you. And that is something that I really do hold near. If I can't be of service to you, then how can I lead you? So I'm going to start this story by recognizing the first one who introduced me to service, which is my mother. She truly is my heartbeat. From as long as I can remember, service has been the driving force of my entire family. My mother introduced me and my siblings to service at very young ages, whether it was working at the house, cleaning her salon, church, or any piece of service that she was a part of. Wherever we went, she was like, go do that, go get that, you go help. So wherever we saw a need, we may try to make a way. I can tell you that my parents, my brother, my sisters, and my family, we all lead with the spirit of giving, whether serving through our work, through organizations, or simply just within our family, with each other. That's been our way. We don't see it as work. We see it, sometimes it could be fun, and we get together, and it's one of those things that it's just something that we do. So I will say this. If my colleagues say, does Dr. Lewis work? You ask them, they'll tell you Dr. Lewis is always in her office working. If you ask the community, they'll say they see Dr. Lewis working. If you ask Dr. Christian and Foley, they're going to say, I am working. If you ask my great Sora Whipple if I'm working, she's going to say Sora Prime definitely works. My Delta women will tell you that I work. But if you look over to this table right here and ask them, does Dr. Lewis work? No. They will tell you, no, she does not work. So keep in mind, they just surprised me by coming here. And so they came to my 8 o'clock class this morning. It was presentation day, so they swear that the students taught us that I didn't teach. But I tried to give them an indication that I do work and that my students do see that I work. So they will always tell you, we don't believe she works, especially my brother. He's like, I don't know what you do up there. So I think they do that sometimes to add to my to-do list. Nevertheless, the truth is, I don't always lead with intent, but I do my best to lead with purpose. I tell people, if you see a need, make a way, because when I do see a need, I do my best to meet it. I truly believe my heart for service has brought mentors, friends, and colleagues into my life who are also servants at their core. There's power in mentorship. So, getting back to how I got here, beyond my family support and guidance is mentorship. At every journey, at every turn, from high school, there's been someone who has just, fall in love with who I am, and they've taken me on and they've mentored me to the next step. The one thing about it, again, about my mom, she's never been selfish in allowing others to pour into me what she may or may not have had the knowledge for. So, some mentors come to you for a season. Some mentors are with you for a lifetime. The one that you heard about was I call her my Mama McGuire, but Teresa McGuire. She was never selfish. When my mom told her one day, I've taken you as far as I can, allow Teresa to support you. I said, okay. I can remember my internship days sitting as an aspiring school counselor trying to get a master's degree. Only just dreaming of being there. Miss McGuire, she was my first supervisor, but she wasn't actually assigned to me. I was assigned to another school counselor who took sick, and I told her I was over there just typing papers, and every time we got a student, she'd say, go get them. And I was like, is this school counseling? But I saw this energetic woman next door, and every evening I went and just sat with her. And eventually, she became my supervisor. And I always tell her that I used to get in her nerves, but she used to sit in the corner and say, you know what? You're going to be a little doctor one day. And I said, absolutely not. I'm getting a master's. That's all I'm doing. Let's not do this. We're not going here. And then here I stand. So one of the things as I moved through my career at that job, and I got my first job as a school counselor at South Haven Middle School. It's one of the largest middle schools in the state at the time. There were times where I thought I didn't belong in the position that I was in, but I just remembered to serve. So as I opened my door to students and more students, they just kept coming back. And so my office, I used to be the counselor of a 6th grade building, and my office was in the main building, so I didn't get to see my students as often. And so one year we decided we're going to move my office into the building with the students. Best decision ever. Went around the corner, met Dr. Allison Oliver. Now, one of the things she would tell you when she first met me is, who was this bougie lady that come with her hair done every week? My 6th grade teachers didn't know me, but they just noticed how I came into a room. But once they got to know me, they knew it was more to it. My mama do hair, so it's free. But there's no level of elevation without my doctoral journey story without Allison. We started this journey. I was sitting in my office at the school one day, and I told her, I'm done. I got to go train school counselors because we're missing something. And she was there when I called on the phone. She was like, wait. So we went on our doc journeys at the same time, which I'm very grateful for. My no is not always a no, but I learned that I needed to be the change that I wanted to see. So when I began to find my path here at ETSU, it wasn't laid out. I just knew I had a job. I had never taught. I was a school counselor at heart. So what am I going to do when I get here? This is a new place on the other side of Tennessee, because I'm from the west side of Tennessee. That's very different. And I was talking to my colleague, John, and John was telling me about this wonderful woman named Ginger. And I was like, well, maybe I should meet with her. So one day I knew who she was, but I wouldn't go up to her. And I was walking in the court, and just so happened she was coming out. And I stopped her. And I said, hey, I know you're working in the schools. I don't know what I need to do. Maybe one day I want to lead. Maybe I want to do administration. I don't know what I want to do. But I think something that we need to talk about. And so she was on her way somewhere, and she said, I'll set up an email, but I think you should meet Dr. Virginia Foley. Met Dr. Foley, and it has been history ever since. Dr. Foley, well, I was already thinking about it, but finally got me into the ELPA program. So yes, I had my doctorate, but I was in school again to get a master's so that I could become an administrator, and that has made the world of difference. I got to connect with communities that I never would have experienced if it wasn't for the two of them. And if they don't mind me sharing the story, how I got placed into Unicoi County. I love this story because it is awesome. I didn't know a lot of the schools here, but there's an internship component to the program. And so I went to them and I was like, I don't know how to get the connect. And they were talking among each other, what we're going to do and who we're going to connect her with. And so I saw them, they said, come over here. And I said, okay. And they said, okay, we got you a really good mentor. But if you ever go to this place and you feel uncomfortable, just let us know and we'll change, your position. And he's like, what are they talking about? And I was like, I don't have an issue with this. I'm from Carterville. It's fine. So I get to Unicoi, and then I realize, oh, interesting. But I got placed with Dr. Amy Horton, who was wonderful. Unicoi County treated me with such respect. And I was so confused because everybody came up and said, how are you being treated? How are you being treated? But the stories that the students had and the way in which I was able to impact students, I go back to my classroom and I'm sharing these stories. One of my students raised their hand and said, Dr. Lewis, were you okay there? And I was like, what do y'all mean? Somebody please tell me. It's my first year. And then she explained it to me and I said, well, I haven't been treated like that. And Unicoi County has been a gift to me. So as I moved on, I met a soror here who was very instrumental in if you understand Delta Sigma Theta and service, if you ask me between scholarship, research, service is my heart. And I will always lean to that. But there were sorors here trying to reactivate the campus chapter. Talked to Zach Scholes, and Zach Scholes wanted it done. But if you know me too, I like the background. I will help you as much as possible. Just don't put me out there in front. So this right here is it's a lot for me. But one of the things was I was standing at preview one day with one of our young sorors and sitting there with Soror Whipple advising, because one of the biggest things about campus is we're charged as advisors, but our sorority charges us with more tasks than the campus actually does. These ladies cannot do anything on campus without an advisor present, a Delta or some advisor present. If the university, I have to communicate with the university and say, I can be there, will you be there? They cannot do a single thing. And sometimes I got to get them because they like to run with this calendar and I'm one person. But one of the things, I was standing at preview and my Soror Whipple asked, Dr. Whipple asked, are we in compliance? And the young lady looked at us and she says, everything but an advisor. I'm standing there like, no, I'm junior faculty. No, I can't do this. No. And Soror Whipple looked at me and she says, it falls to you, but I'll support you. And I said, okay. I had no idea what I got myself into at all. We had 3 members at the time, trying to bring in a line of 7. When I tell you, if it wasn't for the women in the room that I call my D9 sorors, they are the ones that actually came in to support us in bringing in the next line in 2024. And it's work. It is work that I don't know if anybody here will understand. It's a choice and it's something that you have to do, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I got to bring in 7 young women who have almost become they are my children now, because we just brought in 6 on Sunday. So I've got an opportunity to do this twice. And so now we're at 15. And if you all have seen my home in the last weeks, they keep me going. I asked them, it's different this year because last year I got to work with my adults. I said, I miss y'all. Because when I tell them, hey, I need y'all to go over here and I need y'all to work on something, I found them in my back bedroom sleep. I said they was taking a nap, but they got some work done. So it's service, it's feeding. It's when you understand when children leave their homes, they're not only leaving their homes, they're leaving their families, they're leaving love. So if the biggest thing that I can provide to them is an arm, open arms, to support, to cook. I was cooking at 8 o'clock one night because 2 said they were hungry. And I'm like, you want this? Like, I can make this. So these are the things when we talk about, it goes beyond what you see on campus. We see all the beautiful products of what they do, but they're being truly, truly supported, and they've actually supported me just as much as I've supported them. And so I'd say thank you to you all because you don't know what you all have given me. Look at that one. Y'all can tell she keeps me on my toes. But this university itself have given me opportunities to grow, to learn, and to serve in ways I never imagined. And this community has forever shaped and transformed my teaching practice. It has expanded my knowledge beyond what I knew, and it has left a lasting impact. When I talk about my colleagues here in the department, I truly mean that I am really proud of each and every one of them and what they contribute, not only to the department, but to how we work together and we grow together. John Borland sits back there. That's my wall partner. We really think, Dr. Nolan, we need to cut something out and then just have a sliding door because We knock on the wall at each other like we're in K-12. So we call it our K-12 energy, but we yelled across the wall, and I'm like, what are you doing? And so it's truly inspiring to sit in the office where I get to sit and be able to be supported by not only John, but also I get to walk into Deidre's office. I get to see Teresa. I get to go into the offices of individuals who pour into me, even when I'm frustrating that. These last 3 weeks, I have gotten to work at 7 and I've left at midnight because that's how much work it takes to get things going when you're serving. And many nights, I woke up the next day and asked myself why. But I kept moving. I've called and leaned on my shield, my sorors, my individuals, the community, but I kept going. When these young ladies show up at church with me, I don't make them. But it does warm my heart to see that they find something in me to even come and sit by me, even once texting me saying, where are you? And I said, I'm behind you. Like, I get a text message if I'm not at service on time because they beat me there. So they keep me on my toes. And when I truly say a servant's heart, that's what I do. And I truly, truly try to embody each and every day. I am really honored to have this award because it wasn't for our articles and our research and our crisis and everything that we're going through that I'm able to do. It's because of individuals that have saw something in me and taken me on. Dawn Rowe. I wouldn't have a grant without Dawn Rowe. I always say, carry me slow, Dawn. Because there are things Dawn gets, but Dawn will support you in any way possible. I'm one that will put the cart before the horse. So you have to slow me down. But I am truly, truly, truly excited that I get an opportunity to sit here and get to be a notable woman for ETSU this year. The last thing I want to talk about is my Red Academy family. Jean Swindle, I just met Jean through the program as I was in ELPA. And she said, I got a project for you. I don't even remember her asking, but she said, I got a project for you. Get with Deidre. I met Miss Kai and the students, and they were like, we want you to put this presentation together. We want you to do this. Well, I light up with children. I light up with anytime you talk about school, Dr. O will tell you I can say it in my sleep. When it comes to kids and it comes to support, that's where I am. I appreciate each and every one for the opportunity, and Ms. Kai, for you allowing me to serve LXI. Again, I'm going to close these thoughts as one of the 2025 notable women of East Tennessee State University. I do it for those who have allowed me to serve them. To my family and my dearest besties, I would love to name you, but it would take all day. And you know who you are. So thank you for your constant push, your patience, and your phone calls. To Torian, my big brother, you paved the way and have always been a phone call away. Thank you for our inspirational conversations and for always saying that you set us on the right path by being that first generation college student just for us, your sisters. Christy, thank you for keeping me on my toes. Songs of inspiration that I don't ask for. Even when I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing, your readiness to hop on the road anytime I hurt means a lot to me. Crystal, your creativity, your style, your grace. If y'all wonder why I'm stylish, it's that one. Your humbleness, your meekness, and your resiliency to always push forward. Thank you for always being there for me and believing in me. To my dad who's not here, I want to thank him for being the extended wallet, but also for being there. And that's the one that thinks that I got it from him. That's who that was, my dad. But anytime I call and I need something that I was like, I don't have it, I want to feed him or whatever, he says, what, do you want a loan? Because he don't give money out. To my mother especially, thank you for showing me what a servant's heart looks like and for ever being unselfish about letting others pour into me. To my sorors, my university friends and colleagues, your collaboration with me keeps me grounded, and I really truly appreciate it. To my young ladies of PY, may you always carry a heart of service wherever life takes you. And if it's anything that you can take with you in life, is that be of service to someone else. I have watched you all serve, work hard, cry together, have fun together, but I truly appreciate the way in which you all have loved me. To my grandmother, who taught us, if you have a dime, your sister ought to have a nickel. That was her saying to us. And it's something that she coined, and so anytime we got together, so if my sister has a dime, I know I'm always gonna have a nickel. Okay? Again, to the Women's and Genders Sexuality Steering Committee and everyone involved and everyone in this room for the recognition, thank you for honoring me in this way. Because for once, I can't serve quietly from behind the scenes, because tonight the work that I have done has spoken for me. Thank you.